there. Now, I like to say hello to my grandkids and to my son and my daughter-in-law. Hi. Um, let's see. Oh, college the first time because people get confused. Oh, you said you were in college in the 70s, but you just got your master's in '09. Um, I went to college right out of high school. It's a little too loud. I went to college right after high school. I really didn't want to, but my dad was like, I should have done what my friend Pat did, but she did. But she worked a year, 2 years maybe, um, before she went to college. So, and she concentrated. She did not drop out, like I did. Um, because she had waited. I had just gone to college because I didn't want to work. Basically, I didn't want to work. So, and my dad was, you work, you get out or in work, or you find your job and you move, or but if you stay at college, you can stay at home. And I was too trifling to go out and get a real apartment and stuff. So I pretty much um went to college just to, and I ended up it was an all girl. It was a very, very small college, about 400 girls, about 13 black girls at the time. And it was an all girl Catholic college. And I actually had a job. Well, no, where I lived was fantastic. The building had been built in 1888. This was in Washington, D.C. 1880, something like that. The college had been founded by nuns, the sisters of Notre Dame de l'Amour, I want to say. Their teaching order. Anybody that doesn't know about nuns and stuff, they're nurses and they're teachers, and different um, kinds of nuns do different things. So these were teachers. And of course, by the time I went there, it had changed. We had maybe one nun still in her habit. I mean, they dressed like we do, lipstick, stuff. They just look like people. I don't mean that. But they didn't look like nuns like when I was in Catholic school when we were little. And basically, all I did was party. All I did was party the whole 3 years. I partied. That's all I did. I even had me and my friends had our classes arranged so that we would have Thursday morning. We wouldn't have any classes because there was this one thing called Nard's Rock and Roll Oldies, and that was every Wednesday night, and it was oldies. A disc jockey spinning oldies. So, let me plug this computer. This battery is dead. I need everything, every single thing. I need everything. I'm out of everything. My batteries run down. I mean, I'm just everything. I need everything. Um, so yeah, we had it set up so that we wouldn't have any classes on Thursday because we knew what was going to happen Wednesday night. We knew, and we would go to this club. It was kind of like it was nothing but a dive, but everybody was there, and it was a college hangout, for the college girls who wanted to drink, and the men who loved them. And it was a cool place. That's where I met somebody. Well, that's where I met the person who turned me on to the Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead, because he liked the Grateful Dead. I gotta try to remember to look him up on Facebook, I think. Um, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sitting here forgotten. So, um, and the good thing about this place, it was called Fred's, um, um, was that it was within walking distance. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter how totally toasted you got. It did not matter. So, we did it up. And I think people drink at their peak in college. And I think that's when those who will have the disease, I mean, thank goodness I didn't have the disease, because I did drink, which is a stupid thing to do, knowing that, alcoholism was in my family. But I drank anyway. And I never, I'm just blessed I didn't have the disease. Basically, that's all there is to it. And I think that's usually what happens. People get away because the freshmen at the college had to um, had a curfew, like their first semester had a curfew because they come from these little bitty towns, these places in New York, these little high Baba place where nobody knew, and they would go crazy. They would go crazy. So they had to be reeled in, and it was a lot of very rich girls there, and that's when I found out that having money, and being rich are two different things. That you can have all the money in the world and just be an idiot. Some of those girls were oh my, I it was just incredible, and they were always getting pregnant, and all this crazy stuff would go on, and I mean it was just ridiculous. So I guess because they were rich, they were idle, and because they were idle, they had no conception of the world, so they just did whatever they wanted to do. Let's see what happened. So what ended up happening, why I ended up dropping out, was that um, I got on what do you call it, academic suspension, something like that. It's supposed to be because I didn't do anything. I partied, So I got on academic uh probation, and that was a lovely scene with my dad on the phone. But that day when I had to tell him that, with all intentions of going back, of all intentions of going back and finishing, but what's that cliche? Life is what happens to you while you're making plans. So one thing kind of led to another. I ended up getting a little job, just a little something piece of job, and I was intending on going back to college. You know, um, but then I ended up in 77 joining the Marine Corps. And then that was to 81. And after that, I got out. And then, I had my son. And then we moved out here. And then in 2002 is when I went to college the second time. So that's the explanation for that. But I think no, I knew this time. I was like, okay, no crazy stuff. Like my college, my where I got my finally did get my degree and get my master's from is known throughout the world as a party campus. Okay, it was even in High Time magazine, so get the information of that. And uh, actually, my son graduated from there. We went to the same school. We didn't go there at the same time. And we went to, he graduated in June '04. I transferred there in September '04. So we just, missed each other. But it was funny because we had some of the same friends. We would show up at parties. And that's why I couldn't do the beer bong because he was there, but we couldn't act up too bad because he was there. But yeah, we ended up going to parties together. We knew the same people. It was really, really kind of crazy. Um, I always seemed to hang around with a bunch of younger people. I don't know. But I guess because I feel so young, and I don't really look, my age most of the time, unless I'm really tired and I get those they call those puppet things, but I'm not doing anything I'm not messing up my face. You see those plastic surgery, what they call them, mishaps. You know, you look at people and oh my gosh, why did you do that? You're cutting your face. Don't you understand that? So all that nip and tuck stuff. But I did get a little paranoid one time. I had when I was really, really, really losing weight. I under here was looked like it was loose because because of me losing so much weight, and I don't use a lot of um firming gels and that $200 stuff, and all that crazy crazy stuff. But I did invest in some pretty good, I'm not going to mention the name of it because I don't know, I'm not going to mention the name of it, but it was one of those it was called rejuvenation cream. And it was pretty expensive, more than I usually pay for stuff. And I usually buy natural stuff if I can possibly help it. If it's a alternative that is natural, I try to get it. But this was just a famous line that everybody knows of. And I put it under my chin, and it firmed it right up. It firmed it right up. And then from then on in, I never had any trouble, really. As soon as my um weight loss slowed a bit. Your weight loss will slow a bit. I mean, at first you're gonna be like, bam, you'll lose a lot of weight really quick. But then when you know you got it and it's not coming back, it's when it slows down to, and to just a pound to half a pound a week. After that, you're gonna keep it off. Because if you do a lot of drastic stuff and drink stuff and do crazy stuff, you won't when you stop doing whatever it is, you'll gain the weight back. When you after you've lost about, I'll say, well, I lost 23 pounds and then plateaued. And my doctor was, yeah, you need to lose. I was like, I just looked at her and went, did you just hear me, woman? I lost, have you not, where were you? You would have went weighing me. I lost 23 pounds. I ain't losing my weight. And so I kind of plateaued at that loss. And then I really when I went back to school this time, I had to take dance, and I had to take you had to take some kind of physical fitness. So I took that dance, which I thought, okay, this will be easy. And then after that, pretty much at school, I would go to the gym in between classes. Just I ate pretty much the same, but I just changed a couple of things. I don't eat a lot of fried stuff. This time of year is terrible, but I don't care because it's just, this time of year, the holidays only come once a year. So I know it's going to be a lot of parties and food, and there's a party on the 13th of December. There's one on the 12th. I'm just like, come on, I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. And if I end up moving, that'll be a disaster during December because it's going to be awful. I'm going to see if I don't know what's going to go on. But so that is, let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, college the first time. And on a little serious note, I know I'm being silly, but when I actually did get my bachelor's, it really touched me because my dad always, you should have finished that year of college. You should have finished that 1 year. You should have went back and finished that 1 year of college. And he wanted me to, and I, like I said, living life. He died right after I got out of the Marine Corps. Within, I think my son was 22 days old, something like that. I got back from the Marine Corps in September. My son was born in December. My dad died in December. So he got to see him, but you know, that was it. So my dad never saw me go back to school. So when I got my bachelor's, I was like, yes, see there, I told you. I actually said it after I shook the president's, the college president's hand and walked past him. I went, see, I told you I was gonna finish. So I hope that was a proud moment for him. Also, I was talking the other day about why I don't drive. I was actually talking to one of my coaches. I have so many life coaches and stuff, and so I'm a mess. Like it takes an army of people to like control me, and keep me in I don't know what, but it does. And um, she was saying that uh, telling me that they would actually pay for me since I'm job hunting and stuff, and not being able to drive might be a deterrent to some jobs, which I can't figure out why. I've worked since I was 15 years old and never drove to work a day in my life. So, so I guess it, it hasn't been a deterrent to me. But it is harder to get around. Getting much harder to get around on public transportation now. I don't know. I really don't want to drive because I don't want to pollute the air. But let me see. but maybe just have the driver's license is basically what she was saying, in case you have to take a town car, you have to go pick up a client, or you have to take one of your clients somewhere like that. So I'm really thinking about doing that. They have a um driving school out here, and off-duty policemen teach it. Now you can't get much better than that. And I think I think I told before the story of driving cross country. So I can drive, and I think um I'm a lot less nervous. And that's why I had to go to the VA this morning. I know I was rambling about something. I went to the VA first thing this morning because I had ordered my meds like a while ago. I called to check on them, and the automated service said they had already been mailed. And so I had to go without my metformin for the whole weekend. And it wasn't that bad at first because, it takes a long time for the level of medicine that you've been taking every day to, like, dissipate out of your body. But about Sunday evening I was starting to get that hungry, because metformin actually does cut your appetite. And that's another thing too. um and you can really tell that you're eating less by your food bill. You really can. I um am saving about $50 a month, or what I usually spend on food, because like I said, it's just me, what I spend on food. And that's a way you really can tell the food just lasts longer. And I try not to buy a whole lot of stuff because it's just me, and because I hate throwing away food. I really do. Salad and stuff like that, any kind of leafy vegetables, anything like that, or fruit or anything like that that goes south, I can throw that in the smoothie. That doesn't go to waste. But I cook very little meat. um, I've started eating those um, not, I don't want to say processed food, but those um lean cuisine kind of healthy, those frozen kind of dinners, because it just, you can just, I'm busy and I can just throw those in. But I always make sure that at least I cook a meal, like a real meal, starch, meat, vegetables, that kind of thing, at least 2 or 3 times a night, at least 3 times a weekend. Always on Sunday, I have a dinner, even if it's just me. Take my time and cook myself some food, because you have to. If not, you get into that rut of either eating fast food all the time, or eating rotisserie chicken all the time, because you're just so tired. I don't know what's going to happen when I go back to work. What I'm thinking about is making my lunch be my big meal. Take like make a lot of food maybe on Saturday and Sunday, free, put it in little separate things, freeze it, and then let my lunch be my big meal. And then when I come home, I can just have a little salad, or cereal, or something like that, or California pizza, something like that, but already be full from lunch, because I have to eat. I didn't eat breakfast this morning, which I never do. I ate my smoothie, but I was trying to get out of here because I thought the VA would be very, very crowded. It always is on Monday. On Mondays, it's because it's not open on the weekends, the walk-in clinic, or the pharmacy and that stuff. I thought for sure it was going to be packed. I was like, oh my God. But it wasn't that many people that actually got there a little bit after 9. I guess everybody hadn't got up yet. And I actually had my meds in about 20 minutes. By the time I went over to the canteen, got some yogurt, came back, my stuff was ready. So that was pretty good. So I'm ready. Let me see. I'm winding down. I think, let me see, because I want to do some um oh, I cleaned out my fridge. I tell you about that. Well, since I know I'm moving, what I'm doing is kind of going around, going, okay, I really don't need to have that with me, because, like I said, I'm gonna have to um, scale down a little bit. So I started going through the refrigerator. Later on in the week, I think what I'm gonna do is go start going through my clothes, and what I need actually with me, good clothes and the shoes and stuff I need with me, and what can be put in storage. But really, I'm thinking maybe not even storing the clothes, because they're going to be too big by the time I get them out of storage. So there's no need. Um, so it's 1948, 49. I will quit and probably change, and then I'll come back and do some maybe tell one more story, or maybe no, I got to talk about the